Have you ever wondered why English spelling is so difficult to learn? Well, here's some of the story. The English we know today started back in the 7th century when the first writing system using the Roman alphabet was created. English spelling was phonetic back then, but that changed under French rule. Today's system was developed by Geoffrey Chaucer, and it's seen huge changes since the father of English poetry wrote the Canterbury Tales. Really, it's nothing like the English we learn at school today. Our modern English started to evolve when the Black Death helped the English to overcome French rule. Then people could start using Chaucer's English again, although many of them had to learn it first. After 100 years of war with France, the English language was restored as England's official language in 1430. Until then, the court clerks and scribes had only written in French, so they had a hard time switching over. Because of that, we have French spelling of English words of French origin, like table, a really difficult word to spell, or double, spelled double, and centre, spelled centre. Reminds you of French, doesn't it? And many of these crazy spelling inconsistencies are down to the court clerks and scribes' mistakes too. Almost all of the words of French origin were rewritten to make them more English. Chaucer's system took an even bigger hit, as from the year 1476. That year, William Caxton brought the first printing press to England. With him, he took a group of experienced helpers, none of whom spoke English, so they made it up, changing letters and doing whatever they wanted. They had a great idea. As they got paid per line, they decided to add more letters to words and get rich. That's where we get so many double letters from. And we can thank them for the totally superfluous I in friend, the senseless A in head, and the very awkward U in build, to give but a few examples. In the 17th century, English spelling became even more chaotic due to the printing of the first Bibles in English. Of course, this couldn't be done in England, as it was strictly prohibited to translate the Bible. But a lot of people wished to read it in English, since Martin Luther had questioned the church's monopoly on the Bible. So a guy called William Tyndale set to work on the dangerous task of translating it. Tyndale worked on his translation while living like a fugitive in Holland, Belgium and Germany, running from the spies of the feared Sir Thomas More. And again, printers who spoke no English undertook the task of printing Tyndale's handwritten manuscripts. This was one of the most influential books ever printed, and its bad spelling left an indelible fingerprint on the English language, as so many families learned to read and write from it. When Tyndale was captured by the imperial authorities, convicted of heresy and burnt at the stake, printers of his Bible kept on changing the spelling, and things became even more random. In the first authorized copy of the Holy Bible, many variations of the same word could be found. During the Civil War in England, Edmund Coote started tidying up the language and taking out some of the extra letters, many of which had been put there by people who guessed how to spell them. He had help from the pamphleteers, who wanted to make more words fit on one page, just the opposite to Caxton's helpers. Unfortunately, there were too many words to fix, and many of them survive till this day, them and their extra letters. Coote wasn't worried about regularity or irregularity either. His only goal was to establish a single way of writing each word, for a language that would eventually be spoken and changed by people all over the world. When Samuel Johnson published his famous dictionary in 1755, he made matters even more difficult by joining various alternative spellings of a word with a difference in meaning. That's why the two woods are so different, yet pronounced the same. And we've got a lot more of these in English. Look at pray that is hunted and pray to God. And male as in masculine or male as in correspondence. You have to understand by the context and learn how to spell it too. So if you're a young learner of English struggling with spelling, remember, it's difficult for natives too. And did you know that according to an article published by Philip Seymour in 2003, it actually takes English speakers twice the time to become competent spellers and readers as compared with our European counterparts. This has a huge economic and social cost.